Hello my fellow hammerheads and welcome to the second lore part for the Hedonites of Slaanesh. In this video we will cover the events of the Age of Chaos and the Age of Sigmar. But before we begin, I recommend that you buy and read the Battletome and the stories for yourself, because only this way we can support Games Workshop, the Black Library, the authors, and you can enjoy the unabridged stories for yourself. As always, I will provide the faction-specific terminology in the description box down below. As for every new wonderful being watching this, as every video could be someone's first, these lore videos are meant to be role-played. I don the mantle of a traveler who gathers information about the lore and welcomes you in my newly set up Hammerhead Inn, which is located somewhere in the mortal realms. Now, I won't waste any more of your time, let's begin. Hello my friend. Welcome back to the Hammerhead Inn. Please, grab yourself something to drink. I will be right with you. Well my friend, last time I told you about the events which occurred in the Age of Myth. As Slaanesh was captured and trapped in Ulgu, the Elven Pantheon believed him to be shackled for all eternity. Only the High Oracle of Khaine, Morathi, argued for preparations if the Dark Prince should escape. The Pantheon would have been proven right if the captured deity would be Khorne or Nurgle. But the Prince of Temptation thrived on the sensation of being shackled. And fun fact, he hated and loved it simultaneously. Through this pain and suffering, a portion of him was released and gave him the ability to plot his revenge. The favored servants of Slaanesh heard his whispers in dream quests and flickering sacrificial fires. Glavia Sinhart is a good example who played a key role in the Age of Sigmar. Demons and mortals alike started their long search. But it was his keepers of secrets who uncovered the nature of the chains, and as these are magical masterworks, they still had to follow the laws of magic and thus could be broken. Over centuries, his devotees uncovered some pieces of the puzzle to free their deity. Slaanesh used the absence and the distraction of the Elven Pantheon with the war against his brothers to take the first step. One of the chains had to be broken by Khorne himself, and so Slaanesh tricked him and shattered the first chain. In an instant, he fashioned an illusion of desire to replace the chain. So perfect and potent was the spell that not even the Master of Lies Malarian and the Archmage Teclis could see through the distorted reality. I must admit, a bold plan. But it worked, and for that he has my respect. But chain by chain, slowly, throughout the centuries, they were shattered and replaced by Slaanesh's own spells. The chain of utmost betrayals was the one chain which Slaanesh looked forward to above all others, as it led to a realm-spanning event known as the Fated Uprising. A long story short, the Fated Uprising was an event which culminated in the massacre of several cities by the Stormcast Eternals. His followers went to wars in Shaiish against sadistic tribes. In Shaman, the Caradron are snared in the loving embrace of Slaaneshi demons. All the while, the armies of the Dark Prince invade Ulgu, and the conflict known as Cathrar Dhule begins. Morathi led from the front and destroyed the Keeper of Secrets, Glitters, and his Legion of Excess, Krula Shavr, and her Flayer host. Not only did she fight hand to hand, but with the help of Medusei Coven, she trapped the 6 unbeatable war hosts of Bovax the Despoiler in a shadow labyrinth in which they still wander up to this day. The Slaaneshi armies, under the command of Luxius the Keeper, succeeded in the destruction of the Temple of Druxar, and would have fought more if not Sigmar had begun his war to reclaim the mortal realms. The Slaaneshi had to retreat and fight a greater foe. You might have guessed, this is the start of the Age of Sigmar and the Realmgate Wars. During the Realmgate Wars, the Slaaneshi armies were not as active as their counterparts in the Chaos Pantheon. They had to wait for another event. Nagash's Necroquake did more than just shake the realms to their cores and raise another legion of the undead. It shattered one of the chains and damaged the rest of them. Before the damage could be reversed by the elves, Slaanesh memorized the secrets of the chains. As one of the chains had to be broken by Khorne again, Slaanesh knew he had to use another pawn in this game, Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Guiding Archaon's gaunt summoners to lead him to Ulgish, Archaon used his steed to shatter the next chain, and he would have freed Slaanesh if the Ever-Chosen had not to retreat to the 8 points, as the Oziark Bone Reapers prepared a siege on his seat of power. Up to this point in time, since the capturing of Slaanesh, his mortal followers kept themselves hidden as they lacked the favor of their deity in comparison to the Bloodbound, Rotbringers and Arcanites. But they knew that something was happening and that Slaanesh was gaining strength. From every corner of the mortal realms, they came and gathered. Mortals of every kind cavorted. Many left their daily lives and joined a carnival of sensation. Slangors joined them in their ecstatic music, which resonated through everyone's minds. In every realm, except Azir of course. Slaanesh's favored champions ravaged the lands and the people. Yet certain events were progressing that offered the Dark Prince many opportunities. The Lumineth realm lords came out from their blinding realm and played heroes for all. But it was Morathi who would do something that was worthy of the Dark Prince's attention. Her plans to achieve godhood. Slaanesh sent forth his herald, Glavier Sinhart, accompanied by the Lord of Pain, Gasterix, to aid the Khainites in their endeavor, as Morathi's forces were besieged by the Idoneth Deepkin. You remember the story, right? It was marvelous. The God of Excess knew that in this pace in which he got rid of the chains, it would take another age, and that was unacceptable, as there were so many sensations to be experienced. He used Morathi's ritual for his own gains. The Hierarch of Khaine had to open a portal to his gullet, and a portal could be used in both ways. Unaware that Slaanesh had gained a measure of his power, Morathi stole more souls from Slaanesh. If she had known, well, I guess she would have done the same. But with that act, she became a goddess. But it came with a price. Not only was she split into two, Morathi Khaine and the Shadow Queen, but the other price was far worse. The chain of stolen apotheosis, which was wrapped around Slaanesh's neck, snapped. Morathi knew how the chains worked, as she was one of the 4 spellcasters, but still, she did this willingly, that this chain will be broken. This might be the last chance for Slaanesh for freedom in this age. With an extreme amount of willpower against the pain, he formed a crystallized fragment of his own being. Not a demonic reflection, but a shard of his truest and most vile essence. Throwing it after the goddess Morathi, it passed by the Khainites and the Deepkin, covered in the midst of confusion, hurtling through the air and landing in the shadowy lands of Ulgu. Now everywhere, the Hedonites heard the call of the newborn, and they began their pilgrimage to praise their god and the future of depravity in the mortal realms. Some say a new prince is born. Some say it's Slaanesh reborn. But no true Hedonite can deny the divinity of the newborn. I know this wasn't a lot to tell you, but with Slaanesh's imprisonment, he wasn't able to do much. I can promise you, in our next meeting, I will tell you by far more about the society of the Hedonites. I'm keen to know what you think about everything I told you. Just leave me a note under my table. I hope you will lend your ear to my stories again. I have many more for you to quench your thirst for knowledge. You just have to listen for the bell, and you will know that I'm here again, waiting for you. Have a good night, friend, and please, stay fantastic. Bye.